Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. Yet again, another Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Nicole Hanselman, and I've got your guests ready. So Shona Bote is with us today. So welcome, guys. As usual, I do ask you for a favor to tag your friends. Today's topic, African mindset and general the gender stereotypes that are out there. That is today's topic. It will be hot. Join us today in today's topic. Do tag your friends, tell them we are on. Otherwise, this is your platform, Success Your Way Movement, where we talk about various topics affecting us. We want growth, we want expansion, we want abundance, we want to have it all. We want to learn from each other and grow and grow and grow. So we try and learn something new every week, revisit some things, share our knowledge, because knowledge is power, especially knowledge used. So, okay, as you tag your friends and tell them we are on, which is a favor to me, it's always nice to share. If you bump into something good, the first people you want to tell are your friends. So be that good friend and tag your friends and tell them we are on. Otherwise, our guest is ready and we'll dig into the topic today, African mindset, African woman's mindset. What do you know about it? What are some of the things that affect you as an African woman, or your sister, your nieces, your children? What are some of the things you get to see? I'll give you an example. There's this general perception that an African woman has to be perfect. Yeah, you have to be a natural beauty, a natural cook, a natural look after your house. You have to be natural at that. You're expected to be perfect at all times. You're expected. There's a lot of expectation around African women. What are some of the ones you've encountered yourself? What are some of the things you see on a daily basis? Some things you worked on, some things you've seen changes, some places you've seen progress. What are some of the things that you've seen in your life yourself? Others do say hello to me. Tell me where you're joining from. It's always nice to know who has joined me today. And a little reminder, if you didn't like StreamYard, use your name. If you didn't allow it, permit it to use your name, I won't get to see who it is unless I go on my phone. But usually I don't get to see who it is. So even though I'll be sharing your comment, I still don't know who it is on the other end. Otherwise, welcome, welcome, welcome. This should be a nice session. We've got Sashona Bote. She'll introduce herself. Herself will tell us all about herself. Karibuni, karibuni, karibuni. So let's join our hands and welcome our guest. Drum rolls. Da, 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 da. Hi, dear.
Hi.
Hi. So today,
how are you?
I'm good. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Serafin Bot from Kenya. I empower East Africa industry, to the director of Women in Tanzania, an NGO by my friend Bay, but extended it to Africa. I have traveled. So that's who I am. We plan to empower many girls as we can.
I'm afraid I think your network might not be good. I'm not so sure whether it's my end or your end, but I notice a lot of breaking. Uh, Hi, Maria Rosa. Welcome. Thank you. Watching from somewhere in the world. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Welcome, Akinyi. Welcome. Tell me where you're joining from. And do tell me whether you can hear our guests just fine, because I notice a little bit of breaking, but I don't know whose end it is. Tell me where you're noticing coming from, so that we don't miss out on anything. Yeah, so Shona, you did break a little bit, but I can see you're clear and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to
Can you hear
start
me?
by asking you. Hmm?
You can't hear me properly?
Not so much breaking, and I think it has. We reckon it could be from your end, but I think there's nothing much you can do about it if it's the internet. So there's nothing
But
much we
it's
can do
full on
about
my
it.
it's actually full on my side.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try and
Yeah.
get on with it. Yeah, we'll try and get on with it and see if it's really bad, then we'll try something else. But other than that, tell me what you understand by today's topic. Where are you coming from with today's topic? Some things have to be talked about, and this is why we have this platform to to have those hard talks, the things that we're trying to hide and not talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's just about the programming. We are programmed that we are the weaker sex since we are small, and also the boys are programmed to feel like we are the weaker sex. So I think our generation is doing better than our parents and our grandparents. And I'm not saying that they did so badly, because at least our parents tried to get us education so that we can get out of it, and we
Mm.
continue to search for more education, because at the end of the day, like Nelson Mandela said, education is the only equalizer. And I do believe that patriarchy has worked a lot on women, which is very, very wrong, because at the end of the day, like today I was reading an article, and a woman is it's like a joke, but it's a woman trying to ask the aunt how she should how she understands when the husband says that they share 50-50 in the house. So she's like, okay, I cleaned the dishes last week, I did this and that, so you're gonna do it today. So if at all they want us to uh, if men want us in the house to share finances 50-50, they should also come in and share the duties that we do 50-50. Otherwise, I don't see why the woman should be overburdened. She goes to work, she has to come back at home, take care of small kids, take care of a grown-up man, a man who was doing everything in his house, his mother's house, until he got married, you know. So
Yeah.
it all comes here, and people don't understand. This was not us initially. All this came down with slavery. So unless we educate ourselves about our history, these things
Mm.
are going to continue, and we're going to continue oppressing women.
Okay, absolutely. You know what? Hi, Zara. Hi, everybody. I'll keep on reading your messages and stuff. Um, I like what you're saying, the programming and everything. And I think something else that we need to consider and add to this is that we had an equation, yeah, from a mathematical point of view. We had an equation that it had some x's and y's there. And then let's say the woman was the x. We fill that equation by empowering our women and teaching them a lot of things, but we never feel this other part of preparing our men to this empowered woman and a woman who is now also a provider. So because our men are not prepared, and our society at large, they thought that a woman should still do the things she used to do, plus the added responsibilities. So you'll still go to school and be educated, you and maybe plus raising the family and stuff, or you'll still be working and helping around the house, but you still got to be organized at home. So, do you think we did have a misstep there, and what we can rectify with that currently? Because I do notice that could be a major issue in a lot of families.
It's a huge it's a huge problem in our society today. Actually, every time like we go to donate pads, there are men always asking us what we are doing for the boys, and I actually direct the question to them, like, what are you doing?
Mm,
Because I am doing this for women, because I'm a woman and I understand a woman's struggles,
mm,
So it is for the men in our generation to take the initiative to start doing it, to start doing what we do. Like for us, for me, I've been empowering girls in the spa industry. When we are doing, when we deliver the pads, it's for us to make sure that no girl misses school, because education, like I said, is the only equalizer, you know. So,
Mm.
and they should stop trying to, it's like we are competing. We are not competing about
It's
anything,
not competition now.
period. Yeah, like now, when they ask me such questions, like, what did you bring for the boys? Period
Mm.
poverty in Africa is real. Do men
Mhm.
get their menses? They don't. So
Absolutely. Mhm.
what instead of blaming me for helping girls, maybe you should be out there empowering boys with the sports or something, you know?
Mhm. I
Yeah.
like
So
that.
and yes, and it's going to be a huge problem if it's not sorted out. I remember there is a woman here in Tanzania. She does what is mushroom farming, and
Mm.
I paid her to train me how to do it. And she was telling me why the reason she started. She told me how she was being oppressed by her husband and everything, the way he
Mm.
abandoned her for an elderly woman, because nowadays also these men are turning into
It's
bed
so
tents,
crazy, huh? Mhm.
you know, and she was left there with kids. She didn't know what to do. And she started doing it. And right now she's working with very, very big farmers in all over Africa. She's paid to travel all over Africa. And
Mm.
there's something she mentioned when she was training me, and she was like, you know, God gave men power, but they use that power to abuse women. So
Mm.
God is taking that power away from them and giving it back to the women. And that's
Mm.
why you see women are thriving everywhere. Like they always say, if you educate a girl child, you're educating the whole village.
Mm.
Today I did a post. I don't know whether you saw it. A friend of mine called Jacqueline. She's from Kisumu, but she was living in the UK. She just got back to Kenya. She's not even 6 months old, and she's already put up a school out there. What will a man do when he gets money? He's thinking of how many concubines he can have. So we are never going to be equal with them. We are never
Mhm.
going to be equal with them. And it is the same thing. If I get married today, if I
Mm.
don't remind my husband that we need to go and see his mother, we need to go and take care of her, we need to go and do shopping for her, they never think about these things. And then what do? Once they see that we have taken our power back, they start insulting us. So me, I'm always like, for me, insults, you know, like it's like you're igniting me even to work harder. Continue insulting me. That will never stop me.
Yeah.
And that should not stop any girl out there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It can never be equal. It can never be the same because you see, like whatever we do, most of the time women will still lose out because you see, if you're a married woman and maybe you're having children, those even that 9 months that you're at home makes a difference because that's when our male counterpart go ahead, they get ahead in the profession because you know what you focus on grows, so they're at work most of the time. They don't miss work because the child is sick. Not a lot of them, they don't. And so you spend a lot of time being with the children, raising the children. They're sick. In most places you will see if the kids are sick, it's the mother who will be called out, not the man, to go home. It will be the mother. Your children are sick, go home. So you find that even in the career, women do lose a lot. So today's topic was mainly African mindset and how to overcome those gender stereotypes. So, what do you understand by that now? The African mindset. You've mentioned about the programming and stuff.
The African mindset for a woman is slavery. There is no better word to give it to it. It's just slavery, you know? And trying to compress women. First of all, we are so marginalized. Women are marginalized all over the world. But in Africa, it's worse. At least
Mm,
in the UK, there you have child support in case you divorce with someone. For here,
yeah.
women are abandoned every day with children, and the government doesn't support them in any way. You
Mm,
see, like women who are being raped, you know, you just saw a woman who was abused in Nairobi, you know, and that's when you realize, you see the wrath of, because there was a camera, now we can see the wrath
mm,
outside there. But this is something that happens every day. Why? Because we don't have laws to protect women and children. And these are the things that when people go to parliament should be fighting for. But then again, who are the lawmakers? Most of the politicians in our parliaments all over the world are men. You find
90%.
it's 100 men with one
Persuasion.
woman. So it's
Mhm,
very
mhm.
difficult for our laws to be implemented. You see people in the Middle East,
To be
men
fairly
seated in
represented.
parliament making, yes, making laws for women. They
Mm,
don't even know our struggles. You see, like now when we go to distribute the pads, They don't even know that there is a poverty, a period poverty. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. And then at the end of the day, we are marginalized. You will take, there is the systemic marginalization, the
Mm.
systemic oppression towards women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a systemic oppression towards Africa.
Mm.
Then patriarchy is given some little power. I call it small power and small money borrowed to be stolen. You know, so I
Money boy to be stolen.
yeah, small money borrowed to be stolen. So it gives our men, like, they feel like they are more superior than us, but they are not. They are not,
Mm.
because they also have people who are oppressing them. And then
Mm.
sometimes I wonder, don't they even feel ashamed, the kind of things they accept to fall into this continent, knowing that it is our people who are suffering at the end of the day. So the systemic oppression, when you go to a working environment, you will find the same position I will take, I cannot be given the same salary a man who actually sometimes is lesser
And that's
educated
still
than me.
worldwide. Until the Me Too movement started, that's still something people never spoke about. And I like that you,
Yes,
somebody told you, preach, girl, preach, girl. I like that you mentioned about the difference in UK, because in during my separation, I wasn't worried. I wasn't concerned. I knew I'm safe. I still would have a roof over my head, because all he had to do is leave. Because he gets to leave, he
yes,
gets to leave. You leave the house to the woman, the child. Yeah,
yeah.
it's as simple as that in UK. So the men know. And most of the time, I think some of them feel a little bit insecure sometimes when they want to invest with their wives, because they know if they do something wrong, they got to leave. They're going to leave the house with the woman, so the woman will always have a roof over her head. She won't be thrown out. And aside from that, we have other benefits where, as a woman, if maybe you don't have enough income, you will be given like a council house. You will be given some maintenance money from the dad and from the government. So we are safe. In Africa,
Sorry,
how will you reach
sorry.
that? How will you reach that? Bless you, my darling. As you sneeze and cough, you're being told, preach, preach. Karibu, karibu, welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know who that is, but welcome. Nimewasalimia pia. No one should afford to miss this live. Go on and tag them. Go on and tag them. Because you know what I like about Sashona? She speaks her mind, and then she always knows what she wants, and she's not there to sugarcoat. She's not there to. And I think if Facebook is beginning to realize that I do invite you to my lives a lot, because today some of my posts I couldn't comment to some of my own posts. I have no idea why. I'm beginning to think that they're punishing me for your.
You're gonna get in trouble, girl.
I'll get in trouble because they censor you a lot. Most of your posts and comments that are down at the bottom. Some people have been asking why you've gone, because you just disappeared, because your posts are not coming up in the news feed anymore. Yeah, because you're being censored as much as possible. You're always in jail. So, girl, you've been told to preach, preach, preach. Get us out of this African mindset and tell us everything about this African mindset. Yes, I do appreciate we're coming a long way. We've come a long way, and we are really positive nowadays. We're really into knowledge. We are really into speaking out our mind. We speak and speak and speak. But the problem is, like, most people think that we have the guts to speak. Like, oh, Nicole, you can say that because you're in UK, you're safe. Oh, Seshona, you can say that, or because you're not married, or you don't have anything to lose. People judge, and those are some of the stereotypes I would like us to mention.
Stereotypes. Yes,
Yes,
they
those are the things we
they
want to mention.
stereotype us. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they,
they stereotype. This is how they take power from women. You get married. No, first of all, you're pushed. Like for me, I'm told, you're nothing without even if you become so successful, you're
yeah.
still nothing without a husband and children. I still don't want to get married, and I still don't want to have children for my own reasons. I hate
Mhm,
suffering. I
mhm.
hate suffering.
Ah, man is so cute. You won't suffer with mine. You can have him. I don't mind.
You understand? So
Mhm,
if you're not strong enough, if you and you know what, for me, I thank God, my mother is my
mhm,
biggest background, and then there's my grandmother who is my pillar,
mhm.
and not not a lot of women are blessed to have such kind of strong pillars. But now what I'm trying to say, you become successful, they start to tell you you're nothing if you're not married. If you don't know yourself, You push yourself to go and get married. Then once you're married, they always have something on a woman. Oh, she's barren. She can't give birth. You give birth.
Yeah.
Then, because you forced yourself to go and get married to please society, you end up getting divorced. You're the one who's going to be blamed at the end of the day. Did you see just the other day in Kenya, a clergyman is being sued by his clan day to pay for child support?
Yeah, I
Nobody
think I
sees
saw that
him.
one. Oh, where are we coming to?
Yes, nobody sees him. Man of God, you can't touch man of God, and they start to
Mhm.
insult the woman because why? This is a systemic oppression
Mhm.
that is set on the head of a woman. It is the woman to be blamed. You understand? It is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
woman to be blamed. It is a woman who is the mistake. So for me, I refuse that. I think you saw I just shared a picture where there is a woman with a big basket and bread and a stool and a baby behind the back. And in Africa, like such women are so,
Yeah,
oh, strength of a woman. No, that's not strength of a woman. That is slavery.
oppression,
That is
overburden.
oppression. That is
And you're
oppression.
making it
That's why you
louder.
find.
In fact, the more you take in, and there's something else that I've been mentioning lately is that we are also emotional stations, emotional damage or emotional garbage stations, where everybody expect that anytime you're available, even in the middle of the night, for you to just receive their garbage. So they just unleash all their emotional garbage on you, and you're supposed to deal with it because you're a strong African woman. So most of us don't even have boundaries. We don't even know when to say no. This is enough. I'm not your psychiatrist. You don't have to expect me to be available. I'm also dealing with my own stuff every day. I would love to be there for you. It's good to be there for you, but don't expect that I have to always be there for everyone, you know. But in our culture, like you're saying, we think that it's a pride. Oh, you have all these children, you're married, and oh, you have to be
She's
the
a very
breadwinner.
strong woman. Oh my God. No, baby, it's slavery.
Slavery. Eh?
Yeah, there is a time I was up country. I was with my
Yes.
grandmother and my cousin. My cousin had fought with the husband, and she dropped out of school at some point in her life. She got married, and then she has two kids, and this guy just drinks and goes and beats her and everything. And the mother-in-law had come to speak to her to go back to the husband. And you know what she's telling my cousin? And she's like, you've really helped me to shape him. He's actually a better man since you came into his life. And I'm like, is she even serious?
Mm-hmm.
Is she even serious? Because the last time she came and told her that she was having one child, she came back home with one child. And then the same society, the ones who are like, oh, Sasha, you don't have a child, la la la. One of my aunties is again telling me, can you tell her to stop giving birth like a rat? So they will never have enough of you.
Yeah. Uh,
Choose you. Choose yourself. Choose
choose
yourself. African
yourself.
societies will never have enough of you. We need to stop accepting abuse as African children. We accept too much abuse. And why
We
do you
do.
accept this abuse?
And
Because
then it
those people
starts
also
from childhood. Because I remember I shared this last week. Last week we had a very interesting topic as well. If you missed, you got to watch that. And I was sharing my own story of how when I was growing up, the way that those the my let me use what word. Okay, the person who should have protected me, not my mom. My mom, no, bless her. The person who should have protected me used to always bring up the fact that I have this like deep voice, male-like voice, because all the girls that are within the family had like small voices, little voices, and every time I spoke, he had to bring me down with the fact that my voice was, "Wewe unaongea kama mwanamme, unaongea kama mwanamme," and it's funny, but it's sad. So we so you see how it starts. It starts at
Baba.
an early age, being silenced. No, you start being
Yes,
silenced at an early age. You start being conscious
yes,
of your voice. You start being conscious of everything you do. And then
yeah.
some of us like we are broad and stuff, or we don't have a big bum, or you don't have that shape. So they start making you aware of all these things that you're not an African woman because you don't have a big bum. You're not an African woman because you're this. All these things they build up. They
They
build up.
build, yes. they build up, and that's why I'm so vocal, because I was silenced in so many ways, in school, aunties, neighbors, parents, the whole society, the whole African society, because our society has been built through hypocrisy. And that is
Uh-huh.
why I dropped religion. It's been built through hypocrisy from the beginning till now. So when you
Mm-hmm.
come, for us, we started to question. Like for me, I always used to question. So I was born, I was sinless until I was 7 years old. So from 7 years old, I am a sinner. And I was trying to count my sins and I can't get it, And people don't understand this. Eh?
No
People
wonder
don't
you're
understand.
always quiet. No wonder you're
Yes,
always quiet. Mm, From
yes,
that is now you are 7.
yes. So you're sinless until you start from the age of 7. Your sin starts to be counted. And I would think, this God, he is so mean to children.
Mm,
Why is he's so mean to children? So I've
I
always questioned
know.
all my
And
life,
the
but
brain
I
was
was shut.
there. The
Yes,
brain
and
was
I was shut. Yes, sometimes we are doing his CRE and the teacher says something like, I don't
mm,
know, Abraham,
mm,
when he wanted to slaughter his son, and then an angel appeared with a goat. And me, I will always ask questions, and then you're shut. So I was shut all my life. So nobody can shut me. And that's why on Facebook, because I'm so blunt, I'm so blunt.
mm.
Nobody will ever shut me again in my life until the day I die. That I said. Even my own father, it took my dad a very long time to understand my power, because I was always those children that you cannot shut, you cannot control. Today,
Mm,
my dad is my biggest support.
mm,
Today, my dad understands so many things and we understand each other, and is my biggest support. You know?
mm. He knows
So,
you're the one to break those barriers.
yes. So, what I would like to tell African parents, stop shutting your children. Stop
Mm,
shutting your children. We are shut. Oh, I can't, I don't even want to think about it. And this is something that was passed on to them from generation to generation
mm,
during slavery. Like you have said about you are being belittled about your voice.
mm.
You know, it was the same for me. You
You
see,
know what? There's
you
power
see,
in reputation. It's not that
do
you're
you
being told
see?
one. Yeah.
Can you see? Can you
Mm-hmm.
see?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have you ever realized that most of my pictures I smile a lot?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen until the age of 25.
Oh, goodness
Yes,
me.
yes, because I also had someone uh, in my surroundings who used to tell me that I have very bad teeth. And when I started working in Mombasa,
Uh,
yes, yes, and when I started working in Mombasa, there was some missionaries who came, and
yes,
they were coming to they came
mm,
to Kunda to fix people's teeth, and I was doing this lady's manicure, and she told me what she's doing, and I said, oh, then I'll come there. So I asked, how much are they charging for people who can afford? Because it was something to do with charity, but those who could afford could pay. She was like,
mm-hmm,
she told me the price, and I said, okay, can you book me so that I can come tomorrow? They fix my teeth. She's like, which
mm.
teeth? Can you smile? And then I smiled, and she said, no,
Ah,
your teeth are so good. And then she showed me her
beautiful.
teeth. You know what? Most white people don't even have white teeth, eh? And she
Mm.
was like, I wish I had such beautiful teeth. I would be
See,
smiling a lot. And she changed my life. And that's when I
mm,
realized, before you check yourself into a mental hospital, first of all, check who's surrounding you.
yeah, yeah. The people around you are so important. It's just like I've also shared this before. It's just like me. I was always aware of the fact that my figure is different from most of my friends or all of my friends. Because and then having some Luo blood in me, you expect it to be, but I didn't have that. So I was
And
aware
the
of all
color,
this.
and the
Mm.
color, and the color.
Yes.
I know by the time you are growing up, plus your color.
Yeah, yeah, and then there's that. So when I get this way, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I wish I had a body like yours. Oh my God, you're beautiful. Oh my God," and then they say it so much that you start believing them, and everybody's like, "Oh, I love your smile. Oh, I love your teeth. Oh, you're so beautiful," and you're like, "What is happening here? Where am I?" Then you realize, you know what? where you were wasn't suitable for you. It wasn't doing you any
Exactly.
good. It wasn't
Exactly. And
developing you as a
I
person.
discard I discard myself from people every day.
Mm,
I don't care whether it's a relationship. I don't care whether you're my best friend. I don't care whether it's a business. For as
mm,
long as it's something that can trigger my mental health, knowing how hard I have worked for my peace of mind, which is the most expensive thing,
mm.
the minute I realize that it's going to be triggered by somebody trying to put me down, I have packed my bags and I
Your
am
life
gone.
on
And
fire.
this is what a lot of African women need to do. And the
Mm,
reason they're sticking into these marriages is because of being stereotyped, because of being blamed. Forget about people blaming you. They're not
mm,
putting, they're not paying your bills. People will always talk. When you're fat, they will talk. When you're thin, they will talk. If you're married,
mm,
they will talk. If you're not married, they will talk. If you have a child, they will talk. If you're childless, they will talk. They will
mm.
stop. If they can
And
talk
they have
about dead people, who are
suggestions.
you?
They always have
You know,
suggestions, things you should do,
they
or
always have suggestions. Yes.
mm,
So, and
yeah.
for me, I like my grandmother because my grandmother tells me that she sees herself in me. She's from that generation that were forced to get married.
Mm.
They used to be married off because, especially my grandmother, she told
That's
me
the
her
favorite.
story. She was married off because they were poor. So the parents, they needed to sell her off. It was like selling her. Me, I call it selling her off.
Mm,
And I don't apologize for that. And I remember when I did the skydive and I did the bungee jump, and my grandmother likes to see my pictures and everything that I do out there. And when I came back from South Sudan, she sat me down. One of my aunties was saying, "Oh, you need to get married. Your work is to go around the world, la la la." And my
mm,
grandmother was just quiet there. Then when we are the two of us, she told me, "Don't let anyone tell you how to live your life. I'm actually so
yeah.
proud of you." And then she started to tell me, she called me aside and she told me, "I want to tell you some secrets." And that's when she told me that she was married off because they
Mm,
were poor. And
mm,
she told me, "I have to tell you some things because you travel like now you came from a war-torn country, South Sudan, you know. So I don't
mm,
want you to go there and maybe you're blown up by a bomb before I tell you some things that are in my heart." And everything that she told me really empowered me. And she
mm,
told me that she even forced herself because they didn't want her to go to school because she has to get married. So she's
mm.
been married young. She doesn't even know what marriage is. She has these children here, and she was forcing herself to go to Gumbaru. Gumbaru was a school for the elderly. And when I
Yeah.
listened to her story, and I was like, oh my God, I have to empower and inspire as many girls as I can because I think
Mm,
education is the only equalizer.
mm. The only
Yeah,
equalizer in there is at least it's
yeah,
getting us somewhere, some steps
we're
ahead of the game. There's somebody who's
breaking
written
the
something.
chains.
I don't know whether that's the whole thing. Be wise. This is so encouraging. What a very valuable, empowering, very good conversation today. This year now going forward more successfully. Please let's be wise. Greetings from Halifax City. I know who that is. Simba. Welcome, 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 Simba. Life is not a competition. It's about being the best each person can be, improving mindset. We are not slaves. Instead, we are born with birthright, free with dignity. And yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, thank you. You know what? I would like to hear your own input on how you as a man, because I know Simba, I know who that is. It's Simba as a man. How do you help and empower the African woman? How do you help her uh, to come out of those some of those things that we've been told? How do you help her? So, because some of the things we want to know today is how to overcome. Because now we are understanding that education is there. Find people to inspire you, people to uplift you, some people who can encourage you to come out of this because it can be done. Whether you're married, you're single, you have children, you don't have children, you have to live your life. That's what Sashona is telling us. You just have to do you. You can't keep on pleasing people. People will always come with corrections. Whichever path you choose, they'll always have something. If you're married, you have children, you have maybe all girls, you'll be told, sasa ongeza mwanamme, ongeza mvulana. There's always something, they always have something, they always have a say in your life. So do tell me from a man's point of view how we should deal with this, because we do want men to be in this journey with us. We have to be in this together. so that we reach that destination together. We win. So, Sashona, as the other thing that I wanted us to mention a lot more of those common stereotypes that we encounter as women, so that people can relate to it, so that anybody who's watching can say, okay, I've actually seen that. Oh, actually, that one has happened to me. What are some of those things that we see in our culture? Because we see now the modern parents, when they're bringing up their children, they try to ensure that the just don't decide that, okay, because you're a boy, you have to play with this, you have to be blue, you have to be pink. I know I just asked my son about it before this live, because I was wondering, I always remember that he always just loved boys things, always loved blue. Anywhere we went, he just naturally leaned onto that. So I didn't have to do anything or like force him, or I didn't have to do anything much with him. But I also noticed that it doesn't bother him if I tried anything like different that is like girlish, like pink or something. It didn't bother him. So I was having this conversation with him, because kids grow up and change. He's 13 now, he's almost 14. And I was asking him, uh, do you think it should have been different for you if I'd tried that, just incorporate all these different things? What do you think about it? And his answer is, he supposed so. He supposed so, but right now he knows that it wouldn't be suitable for him. He's just happy being a blue boy, boy. So I think my question right now is, what are some of those stereotypes, and if the parents who are trying to, to remove some of these things that make girls think that because you're a girl, you have to be pink and stuff. I don't know whether you understand where I'm coming from. Did you get me at all?
I got you, yeah. And like I'm saying, everything goes down to education. And I'm not talking about the colonial education that we receive. No. I'm speaking. Yeah, because what has it done for you? You're there in a foreign country. You shouldn't be there if it was real. You should be in Kenya owning a very big company, yeah? Get what I'm saying?
Yeah! Shots fired. Shots fired. Let me
Yeah.
tell you what. I always loved Kenya. I really did. And I did start my own business in Kenya. It was doing well. And I kept on seeing this. I kept on going round and round in circles in things I did. But at that time, I was young. I didn't know better. I'd finished my college, and then I wanted money fast. I wanted money quick. And I found ways of making money quick. I had my own spa business, and it was doing well. But every time I did the spa business, I fell for some bad people. For instance, my first spa business, that lady just chucked us out. She agreed. She told us to use the premises and pay her monthly. And then one day she woke up, because we started making a lot of money very quick. I met my baby daddy then, and it was happening so quick for everybody. And then they started branding me those names, or Anashika Madawa and stuff, or Malaya. Sorry for using that language. I hope I don't get censored.
It is what it is. There is nothing to be sorry about. It is what it is for women in Africa.
Yeah, so I was branded that, and then what other thing came up? Okay, and then that day she just woke up, came to the premises, and started tracking my things outside. And mind you, we started from scratch. We started with nothing. We started with just a deposit. We used to, if I had a client, I'll book you in, then I'll find somebody to like, if it was hairs, I'll find somebody to do your hair. If it was a certain kind of special therapy, because we did all sorts of therapy, shiatsus and everything. And if it's something special, I'll find that person, pay them in commission. That's how we started. And I ended up having a few girls by the time I was finishing. And that day she just came and shut everything outside. Taka taka easy, taka taka easy. Imagine, just like that.
For
And
me,
then,
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's who we are in Africa. Let us be colonized. Let them continue taking our land, because that's who we are. For me, it has happened 7 times. So I understand what you're saying. 7 times. You start up a business, the minute it peaks, the energy shifts. So don't worry. Continue.
yeah, and the next time there I am again, I'm thinking, okay, I really like this. I really enjoyed what I was doing. I really loved it. I saw how it flourished so fast, and I knew it's something I can do. I loved it. And then a very nice girl who started just with same level, same age, started, And they were like, okay, I've got my business, but now I want to focus on something else. I'll let you use the premise and just pay those people directly. Just use my premise for now and stuff. There I am again with my stuff and my girls, because now I had my backbone. We were always like, oh, and we go there, we start, we're doing business, and then somebody, okay, who are you guys? And then we are like, oh, we are the one running the business right now, blah, 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 blah. Oh, do you know was it 6 months or 1 year rent to be paid on that place? What? You got to pay it. I'm like, what? So we spoke to the person liked us, the way we were conducting ourselves, the way things were going on so well there. The person came to agreement with us. And then we started working there. And then what happened? She came back. Yeah, she came back. I'm talking about so many years ago. This is almost 20 years ago. Yeah, she came back. Then there I am again. I went to South Coast because I was like, oh my God, I have to break this cycle. I have to break this. I went to South Coast. South Coast started a business again. A recommendation from another nice person, Mzungu, who had an African wife. They're like, okay, come and do business. I was like, I can't afford that deposit. It was it was just right next to the beach, opposite five-star hotel where I ended up working as well. And they're like, come do your business here, just pay me my rent, because I couldn't come up with the deposit. I started business again, working flyers, yada, 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 yada. Then the woman like sends the brother to send me away because the best friend wants to use the place. So
I didn't know you have walked I didn't know you walked in my shoes. You're encouraging me.
I have again with out. My stuff's
Then I'm
ended up
not gonna.
in one
Then I'm not
room.
gonna cry. No. Then I'm not gonna cry no more.
So those are just some of those things that happen, and again it comes to the African mindset and thing. We still haven't learned how to be happy for each other. We still haven't learned that
Yes,
there's enough for
we are very
everybody.
jealous.
Yeah,
Not
so
me
for
are
me,
there. Me, I'm not jealous of anybody. I actually empower people so that they can win. The girls, some of the girls that have trained from scratch, people from the villages, they own their own spas, and I'm very, very proud of them now.
yeah, bless you,
I want us
girl.
to win. Yeah, I want us to win.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bless you,
Hey,
girl.
and
So
then
yeah, so before you judge me for being here, I did try. I came in UK when I was 27 or 28 or something of that sort. And you are yawning, girl. So that is a long time. So I did try to come here when you're 27, 28. It means that I did do what all I could, but I always knew that I wouldn't be hungry, that I don't want my kids to be hungry or whatever. I didn't have any children in Kenya. I knew I don't want.
you see, and you see, I don't blame you for being there. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, good.
The system is already oppressive to us, and that is
Mm.
why we have Africans dying in the Mediterranean Sea
Yeah,
with
sometimes
all these resources.
yeah, sometimes we'll rather just break our back sometimes because our experience is not the same for everybody. But my experience was different. I do know I did try, and I did know I can't break out of it. I don't know why. Right now I know a lot of things. Yeah, I'm older, I'm wiser. Right now I know a lot of things. But then you're young, you're trying to navigate the world. You know you're ready at 27. Most of the girls there are ready to have families and children, and everybody younger than me was getting married and having children. You see, and I'm thinking, I'm bloody 27. I got to do something. So I have to. I knew I had to break out of that. So I did break out of that.
Yeah,
And here we are.
and you fought how best you knew how to, and that's what I'll tell every girl. Like you see here in Tanzania, they
Mm-hmm.
teach their men. They teach their men that before getting married, you should at least have a home. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
things are changing because of the integration with foreigners and everything, but I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
90, 95% of Tanzanian men, even if it's a ghetto,
Mm-hmm.
they marry when they have a house.
It's something.
Even if it is the poorest of them houses, but they
Mm.
marry when they have a house. But for us, you see, you're being pressurized by the society to get married to
Mm.
someone who just finished university. He doesn't even know his way in life.
Mm.
We get married, we rent out a small house to start life. I get
Mm.
pregnant, there are bills to be paid. That is why marriage cannot stand in our society today.
Mm.
Don't be
We have
don't
a
be
lot
cheated by anyone.
of
Don't be cheated. They call women names that
mm.
women who love money. They call them names.
Mm.
Sweetie, let me tell you, you get married, stay in that house when he doesn't have money, and then you will tell me. And when you don't have your, you should also have your own money as a woman. Maya
Yeah.
Angelou wrote a very good poem for us, and she said, a woman must have her own little money.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
see, this is another thing. As somebody was interviewing me in South Africa, and she was telling me that she lived in Kenya for some time, and she was telling me that she noticed a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm not saying it, I really am very proud of our tribes, all of them, all
Mm-hmm.
44 tribes of Kenya. I'm very, very proud of them. I see
Mm.
them as our diversity, I see them as our culture, I see them as our beauty. So if
Mm.
when I mention a tribe and you take it personally, I am sorry, I was not there when your parents were poisoning your mind. Mine taught me to
Mm.
respect every tribe as my own culture and to be proud of every tribe as
Well,
a
as
Kenyan,
we're
especially when
integrated,
I'm out
actually,
here.
we're really integrated, by the way. We're really, really integrated. That was
Yes.
just something else. I don't want to go deep into it because I'm cool with those people right now, some of them, but that's where I grew up. I'm cool with them. It's part of my journey. So I try to respect it in that regard. But one day I'll just unleash it. But right now I just respect it because of the relationship I have with some of the people that. But otherwise, we are really integrated. You must have known that. You probably do know. In We have every single tribe in our family. You will find it. Every single
Yeah,
tribe.
so yeah,
Mm.
I know. Yeah, so I was just mentioning this, and they were
Yeah.
interviewing me, and they were like, no, like we lived in Kenya, but I noticed with a lot of Kikuyu women, they own
Mm.
a lot of property, you know. And I
Mm.
told her, for us, we are taught at a young age, we are taught at a young age that you should have your own.
Mm-hmm.
Despite being married, you should have something under Sasha's name,
Mm-hmm.
not only something under my parents' name or my husband's name. I should have something that Sasha should be proud of. A lot of people ask me like why sometimes I go out in, because I've had a lot of shares, a lot of struggles. It's not easy being in a foreign country alone, and I've tried so many countries in Africa and
Mm.
even abroad. So in Europe, I mean. So it's not easy. You're out there, so you know the struggles that we go out with. And sometimes I'll tell people things, and then they're like, "Oh, why don't you just go back home? I want to leave a legacy for my children. I will still, but then I would love to have my own children, but for now I cannot afford them, so I don't want to have them. But I know if I get what I've been fighting for, I can have like 10 of them, my dear, and I
That
want to
was
leave
it.
something for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
if my grandfather left me something, why should
Mm.
I not also work for generations to come?
Yeah.
Because nowadays our generation is me, you know. But for
Absolutely.
our grandparents, like for me, I've always put it out like an example. I know if
Mm.
you know Nairobi, there is Njogwine bar in a CBD, and there is the Gloria bar.
Mm.
That is it's a generation it's a generational thing from my mom's side. And I remember when I would get stuck on finances, I would just go to Jogwine and give out my grandfather's name, my mother's name, and I'm given what I want. So if that's the way I was brought up, why can't I continue with that? Although now it's very difficult because our generation is just me, my children, me. You know, we're no longer building as a community, and then we want to have issues with Indians or Europeans when they come to Africa and they build their own communities. We shouldn't be having problems with them because they build together.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? They build
Mm.
together. So for us to come and when you go back to our topic, we don't get out of the topic why the women are marginalized,
Yeah.
why we are
Yeah.
stereotyped.
Yeah.
It is because the family setup is broken. And that
Mm.
is why we were colonized. Because if you want a house divided shall never stand. There's a saying like that, you know? And this is
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. So the colonizers came, they found our family unit. We used to live so together. We used to be communities. We used to help one another. They first dismantled that to be able to colonize
Yeah.
us. And unless we educate ourselves about these things,
Mm.
exactly, unless women, men, from my grandfather used to give me stories about when they were fighting for freedom and everything, how my grandmother, they would cook for them. They didn't have fridge those times, so they used to carry cold, they used to store water in pots, and they used to carry food. They used to preserve it with banana leaves to stay for long. I know these things. I was taught by my grandparents. And they would not go for war unless the women told them what to do. And if they went and did the opposite of what the women told them, they would lose. So you
Mm.
see, they were able to conquer our land back because they respected women. But now people don't even respect women. They are here every day insulting single mothers. They
Yeah,
insult
I
single
know.
mothers every day. As you know,
They
as if those single mothers impregnated themselves. They did not impregnate themselves. You know,
that's where everybody leaves their
illiterate.
frustration.
They're illiterate. They are illiterate. People have PhDs and degrees out here, but they are illiterate.
Mm. Illiteracy.
Illiteracy, my dear, illiteracy that can be weighed in kilograms.
I've never heard of that one before. Illiteracy that can be weighed in
In
kgs. Women
kilograms. Yeah.
empowerment is important. It helps. I'm sorry for interrupting you again. It helps them fuel sustainable economy and benefit society and humanity at large. Thank you, Zara. Great responses, Nicole.
Thank you,
So,
Zara.
yeah, Zara, if you tell us some of the things that you've noticed, some of the African women mindset that you see, or African society mindset that you see, that is like oppressing the African woman. We've mentioned things like, us being proud because everybody commend us rather for weight, carrying all the weight, carrying all the burden. Oh, you see how she managed to do this. And they just give you more and more responsibility and garbage. You see, the African woman, even though she might be married, the typical African woman, let's put it that way, she will be married, but she's still got responsibility back at home. She's still got to fend for that family that she left behind. She's got her own new family, and she's got her marital family to look after. And everybody expects all her children to be clean, all her children to have gone to school, her looking on flick at all times and natural. Yeah, you have to be a natural beauty. You have to be a natural at looking after your kids. You just have to know how to look after those kids. You just have to get it right all the time. You can't make mistakes. No room for failures for the African woman. So, what are some of the things that you've noticed yourself and some of the solutions that we can start implementing? We've said education and not just the mainstream education that we're told. That comes with oppression at times, because it's not working. It doesn't work out as fair for the African woman at times. So we're talking about education and we're talking about women owning their own stuffs first as much as possible, wherever possible. I think sometimes this helps in terms of when you know you have somewhere to go, then you can't take BS. If you know your parents are welcoming, if you know your parents will say, "My child, come home." Anytime you're not unhappy, come home. Yeah. If you're being beaten to death, come home. I don't want to be burying my child. Then you'll be brave. You'll say no to abuse. You'll be like, no, I'm not taking that BS because my mom said it's okay for me to go home when it gets started. You took me from my parents saying that you love me, that you will blah 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 blah. But now that because that's not happening, yeah, then I better go home where I'm safe, where my mom will see me every day, than her seeing me in a graveyard. Yeah. So
Yeah. And
go on, Nadia.
yeah, and this goes from the kind of things that we need to let go. First of all, we need to let go of the foreign god because that's where our problems began.
That is so deep. We need a whole topic for that. You don't want to be you don't want people to misunderstand you, and you don't want to quasar people. But
No,
I'll
no,
let
no,
you.
no, no,
Go
no,
ahead, dear.
no, no, no. No,
Preach.
no, no. Let them, whoever wants to, you know what? I meet everyone where they're at. If they are
Mhm.
on a lower vibration, they are allowed to understand me on their low vibration. If they are on a higher frequency, well and good. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to tame my tongue because I'm worried because someone is going to judge me. In fact, I like when people judge me and when they hate me. I like it because
Mhm.
I have people when I started doing the posts that make me get silenced on Facebook. I had people who used to silence me but now they have woken up. I'm actually scared of their power. They are so powerful now. The kind of things that they are dressing, I don't even have the guts to. You understand? So we need to start off with dismantling the foreign god. That is where our problems began, from slavery. You know, and the woman, because slavery was founded on patriarchy. You understand?
Yeah.
And then it penetrated in Africa. And when it penetrated in Africa, the only way to dismantle us, to be able to colonize us, I have told you, was to break the family unit. And that is why the black man was taught how to disrespect the black woman. And that is where our problems began. And then the same way, the same patriarchy taught them in the church.
Yeah.
That
But sometimes,
a man,
you know what?
that a man is God. You understand? A man is God. So that is why when women are big, that is why women, we have a lot of defenseless women in our graves. Because even when they go back to their parents' home, they go back to their pastors, they are told, no, go and pray for him. Why aren't we being told? Why aren't men being told to pray for promiscuous women? Why? Why aren't they being told to pray for promiscuous women? But as we are being told to pray for promiscuous men, how many women right now are crying because they got HIV because of staying in those abusive marriages? Right now, since COVID came, I don't know what happened. There is a rise of syphilis in Kenya. I don't know whether it's the jab. I'm not going to touch that because I don't want to be shut. Anyway, I don't know, but there is a rise of syphilis. And it's happening to married couples. When I was living in Juba, I used to cry every day. I did some statistics in Juba Hospital for the United Nations. We would sign in, doing field work, we would sign in 60 pregnant women, HIV positive every day. And those were married women. You know?
Yeah.
In the name of the ring. You understand?
Yeah. For me,
I
it's
think it is time.
confusing.
One second, Nicole, let me finish. I
Yeah.
think it's time to start teaching women to love themselves, to choose themselves. They are never taught that. And then it's also time to start teaching boys, instead of telling girls how to wear so that they cannot arouse a man. How about you teach yourself to tame their thoughts?
Yeah.
How come I am not aroused when I see a man walking here with an underwear on the beach? You understand? So
Yeah.
all these things are taught. All these things are taught. They're planted in people's minds, and they can be undone if we want to.
Yeah. What I just wanted to bring out, what I find conflicting is, I can't totally put the blame on one end. Why? From my own observation, and this is something I observed a few years ago, not like 2 or 3 years ago. There's a time I was in Kenya, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? Because before I left Kenya, I used to see all these European things, American stuff, and we associated with the women just being able to sleep with whoever they wanted. So we thought, you know what? Being a white woman means that you can make your choices in regards to men and sleep with anybody and stuff. And that's how we thought. But when I came here, I realized actually they don't sleep around that much as we thought. Not really, not the ones that I encountered. People don't sleep around that much. And then, so when I went to Kenya not so long ago, I noticed that everybody is sleeping with everybody. And I was like, what is this new culture where everybody is sleeping with everybody? And I mean, almost literally. Like, you're married, your husband is sleeping with somebody else, you're sleeping with somebody else, that somebody else is sleeping with somebody else, and that the somebody else who is sleeping with your husband. And oh my God, it was too much. And I thought, what's happening? And I saw in nightclubs, the women are just ready to be taken home just because you bought them a drink or you're giving them a cab ride or whatever. They were just ready to go home with you or sleep with you anywhere, like literally. And I'm not talking about people who are doing it for money. Nope. No. And I sat
Those
down and
are Nicole. Those are disempowered people. Those are people who don't love
that's what I
themselves.
wanted
And
to
this is
say. You know what?
yes,
I
yes.
was coming to this point. I was thinking, did we teach people empowerment? Did we start teaching people modern thoughts and stuff, and then we left them without finishing the journey? What happened? Because people are like in between, they're
No,
confused. They
no,
left the
no.
African culture.
No, you're not gonna blame that on empowerment. That is a
Oh, these are
personal choice. There are
educated people,
people
Peter.
are, yes, I have noticed what you have said, and that is why people don't understand why I am single. Because a lot of people are so dirty. They're
I was
literally
like,
thinking.
save me. I might actually came shamba. I know I've had
They, they,
fun during my times when I was younger, but at this age
they're
and
think,
time, there are some things I'm not going to tolerate
Nicole,
it.
Nicole, they're stinking. They're stinking out here. And that's why people keep on asking me that why am I single? Because I go to I can see with my own two eyes. I know of people, I see it in clubs. I know this is Nicole's husband, and I will meet with him with another woman, and it's not even apologetic. That is someone's choice, you know? And that's
You
why
are in
people
a wrong
that
one.
is why this is why I am saying at the end of it all, we need to continue educating people. I did a post about sex transmutation. People were inboxing me. They're like, Sasha, you need to be talking about these things. Where do you get these things? I'm like, I educate myself. I do self education because the one that I the one that I did in school was supposed to take me to life at a certain level. You understand? And the
Yeah.
kind of education that we got, you can become very ignorant, like what you're saying. You saw that is ignorance. That is
Mm-hmm.
ignorance. These are people who don't even know themselves. They don't know their higher power. Once you start to know your higher power as a human being, once you know that I am made in his image, I can call it and make it happen. You
Mm-hmm.
start even to cleanse your mind, you cleanse your body, and you cleanse your soul. These are
Because
people who don't even know who they are. Because if when I was teaching about sex transmutation, that's where when I teach about it deeply, that's where you will go and you start knowing about soul ties. The
mm-hmm.
last guy I was meant to date, I just went on a date for a few times, and then I just told him, no, 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 we can't be together. You're so dirty. You're in this, yes.
Oh my God, you're making me
You're
laugh
so,
like a fool. I'm
you're
laughing
not
like
serious.
with no
No,
class.
I told him you're so dirty. Like you're in every, like I see you with every girl. You know, you're with every girl. So I told him those are spirits. I want to be successful. So the minute I transmute with you, you're bringing all those spirits, whether negative or positive. You're bringing them into my
Yeah.
life. I've
Let
worked
me,
so hard to be who I am today to accept that kind of a life. So don't
yeah,
even confuse those who are doing it like that. It happens everywhere. If I
yeah.
want to say it's in Kenya, then I remember when I was in South Sudan. When I think about when I was in Zimbabwe, I think when I was in I was in Europe, there are
Yeah, the
certain
way,
people like
that
that.
way, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
there are certain people like that, and they die as empty shells. They are
yeah.
given so much time by God, but by the time we are even starting to sugarcoat their eulogy just to make sure that we put something small, because there
And
is
then there's
nothing
some
to show for them
people,
once they are gone.
yeah. There's some people who think also wealth can be robbed in that way. So they think that so long as you have a car and you have this, so as if I give a part of me, then I'll get some. But anyway, let me read this comment, my dear. Hadija says, I left my marriage because it was extremely abusive. Oh, power to you, girl. That is the strength, because living abuse is so hard. And my father-in-law was furious at me because of leaving. He said a woman shouldn't leave her home or talk to even my parents about my issues. Usitoe mambo nje ya nyumba. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. That was after trying so many times to tell them about my suffering. Years later, I'm glad I chose me and my kids.
Yeah, congratulations, Khadija, because you could have stayed in there. Maybe you could have come out with a disease, or maybe you could have come out in a coffin. And then also, I want to applaud you because you have taught those children that it is not okay to be abused. And we need to start showing our children it is not okay to be abused. Because the
Hmm.
minute you accept to stay in that marriage, it's not only about you. It's they always say there in the church that they are staying because of the children, but this is how you carry on the generational curse. Because now if I am a daughter and I'm seeing my mom being dundwanda every day, then tomorrow when I'm beaten by a husband, I think it is the way it's supposed to happen to women. So congratulations about that, Khadija.
Yeah. Then you start saying it's being cast, but it's not being cast. It's just allowing the abuse and the
Exactly. And
all this.
I want to touch something before I forget, Nicole.
Yeah, go on, my dear. Then we'll read that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I like what you said. Like, when I was at home, I thought like white women just sleep around whatever. But these are the things that we see on our beaches, and by there those are things that happen everywhere in the world. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
yeah. It is the sex vacation. I don't know what they call it. There is a certain name. It happens, but it doesn't mean that that is what they do. Those are the people who just want to go where they are not known and just live like they don't give a fuck. You understand? Sorry for my language. I'm sorry for the French. You
mm,
understand?
mhm,
But because you used to think also. Why? Because of the mainstream media. Mainstream media lies to us a lot. And that
mm,
is why a lot of people are not proudly African. Mainstream media lies to us a lot. So
mm.
and this is a thing. I always get girls telling me, oh, Sasha, I see you around white people when nitafutie mzungu. I don't know what. I'm like, who told you these white people even have money? You think they would be here in Africa if they had money? They are seeing opportunity here, my dear. And then who told you that getting married to a rich person will change your life? It will never change your life. Even if you gave me 10 million like this, like a gift, and
Mhm.
maybe my salary is $200. Believe you me, I will
Sweetheart,
use the $200 better than the 10 million.
mm.
So they need to, yeah, this is a misconception.
We have somebody correcting you, and I'm glad they're doing that because it's a male, so that we have a different view. Because it's always nice to learn from each other, and the one thing that's not it yet. This is, I think, Dorothy. One thing I know for sure is that if you really respect yourself and you're married, you cannot go ahead sleeping with everyone you meet. I've dated and having men in my life who didn't respect. This made me take a break. Respecting oneself is key in every union, as to make you respect your partner. I'll tell you what, now my life coach hat comes in play. You When you start learning how to truly love yourself, it's not about looking at in the mirror and saying I'm beautiful. No, you truly and own who you are, and you embrace who you are, understand you are a higher being, and you love yourself, you fall to yourself, you're in love with yourself so deeply. You transform your life, and then you learn to forgive yourself for the past mistake, the people you chose, the men you ended up picking, and them causing more damage or hurting you. You learn all this, and then you just become liberated, and from then your eyes just become so clear. You'll never attract that thing again in your life. You will never tolerate that. You will never want that. You'll see things so differently, so differently. But you won't carry that hurt and damage and abuse to others because you've healed yourself and forgiven yourself. Instead, you go out and help heal the world, because we start healing the world in our different corners. This is what I was coming. This is what I'm coming to. Yeah, this is Kelvin. The guest is wrong. This is all immoral behavior to be blamed on empowerment. The now parents, guardians, society, and so-called leaders have failed to educate and nurture the now child. When I was growing up, I used to see adults get married and giving birth, but now I'm seeing kids getting married and giving birth. Okay, I don't think you differ in points, but okay, I don't know, Sashona, if you're getting that one really. The guest is wrong. This is immoral behavior to be blamed on empowerment. Unless we
Can
missed.
I read 1 second? Can I read this comment? It's the guest is wrong. This is all
Hmm.
immoral behavior is to be blamed on empower. I don't even have time for such. You can deal with that.
Okay, I'm not so sure what you are misunderstood on there, but again, for me, I view things a little bit differently in regards to that. In regards to my own view and experience of the people I've seen sleeping with everybody, it could be even in a restaurant. You know that person is married and sleeping with so and so. They know you are married and you're sleeping with so and so, but they want to sleep with
No,
you,
I
and you
get.
want to sleep with
No,
them.
I think I get their point. I think what the person is trying to explain is people
Hmm.
misunderstand empowerment.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I think what she or he, I didn't see the name, she or he is trying
Because
to
that's,
explain
I
is
think
that
that's how.
people should not take that being promiscuous as empowerment. And it is true. This is where, especially a lot of women in our generation, they are misunderstanding what empowerment is, and they're the ones that you're mentioning who are
Absolutely.
sleeping all
That's why
around.
now our women are getting drunk and falling on the ground and being taken, the videos being taken and shared online because they think that, oh, because I'm empowered now, I can go and leave my kids and go drinking the whole night and then just be found on the ground with my
That's
clothes off, and that's okay.
that's
And I don't
BS.
know who I slept with. I can't remember the next morning who I slept with. Oh, I'm empowered. I can leave my children. Oh, my goodness me. Totally
You
wrong.
know, Nicole, Nicole, that's why I started to travel. I drink once in a while, and I can get wild when I decide, but it's no longer my fresh of breath there. That's how I started to travel, because I would ask myself, like, you go to please people, you use like $100 to please people. I could save that money and go for a weekend getaway. I will meet people, I will learn about nature, I will heal myself. And the thing that when I go home, I don't know whether it happens for you, but for me it happens sometimes. When I go home, there are people I can no longer be around with. And it's not like I'm trying to brag or I think that I've made it in life or what, but you just find that, like, they don't think beyond Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And
Mm.
thinking about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's not like let's go for a hike, let's go for biking, let's go for camping. No, it's like, manze si tuliwasha, unaona Jeni aki mpaka
Asha,
alikuwa
zile
anadunda
Benson.
tu, alikuwa amedunda.
Yeah, for me, empowerment will be, you know that you as a woman, you have a right for a break. You want a break. You've been busy with work and looking after your children. It's okay to leave your children with their dad for just a weekend getaway. Go into nature. Go somewhere. Travel. Do something for 3 days, 2 days. Come back. That is empowerment. That is okay. And that's guy supports you, knows that you want that break from that every day, doing the same things every day. That is empowerment. But it doesn't mean
And
leaving
it
your
should
kids.
and it
Mm,
and it should go, yeah, and it should go both ways. Even for men, you need to choose who you're getting married to, whether you're a man or a woman. Because
mhm,
one thing I know is that the ring is the tiniest handcuff the world has ever had.
mm.
So before sentencing yourself for life, choose wisely, because
Wisely.
choices have consequences,
Mhm,
and life is a choice. I was
mhm,
talking to a girl today. Was it today? Yeah, I did a post, I think yesterday, and we were talking and everything, and then it through the comments. And then what was it about? I think it was about children or something. And I think I said I'm not ready to have kids, or I don't want to have kids and everything. And
mhm,
she brought in that she has kids, her and her husband and everything, but A, B, C, D. I told her life is a choice. She said,
mhm.
no, but my husband. I said, life is a choice. You have chosen to be married. I have not chosen to be married. So
Yeah,
make
exactly.
sure the choices that you make for your life will work for you.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah. At what time, how many children, all those things are choices and they have consequences. Every choice has a consequence. It could be a mental being that, and then there's give and take in that. There's something somebody had mentioned that I wanted us to go back to, but
Please.
I think it will have slipped my mind now. Yeah, but empowerment is a lot of things and we are getting it wrong, and that's why our girls are messing using empowerment as an excuse for it. It's not. It's just a misconception, and it's a shame because we've come a long way to want to be empowered. Yeah, we've come a long way. So my dear, I don't know whether you've exhausted on ways we can overcome these stereotypes that are there. Have we exhausted it? But there's no exhausting this one. I don't think
There
there's
is no
exhaust.
there is no exhausting this topic. The thing is, if you are a woman, I want you to look at that mirror and know that you're so beautiful. And I
Mm,
want you to affirm what you want with your life. It begins from there. Without self love, it doesn't matter. Even if you found someone who loves you so much, who gives you everything in the world, for as long as you don't have self love, you're going to destroy him in the process, and you're going to
mm.
destroy yourself. And I'm going to give an example. This week alone, and this is
Don't worry
something I'm
about
saying that Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is something that I'm sharing, that the people who have shared with me, I was like, I would love to talk about these topics, because we also don't talk about good men who marry the wrong women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're a woman and you don't love yourself, even if you find a king who does everything for you, you're going to bring that home back down with your own two hands. And this has happened to some of my friends. I know them. They are so hardworking. They will go the extra mile. You know, a wife even has a salary. She has a salary. She's provided for. One of them has even built a home for her. She has a nice car. He put a business for her. She brought it down. So he decided, let her stay at home. I will do the shopping for her. I'll make sure there is electricity, school fees is paid, and everything. I'm going to be giving her $500 as a salary. And then at the end of the day, he is called by his friends. She has borrowed a lot of money, for like $5,000, and now he's in debt. She did not build for her parents. She did not pay school fees. She did not buy herself clothes, because she's provided for everything. So without, it comes back to self-love. Without self-love, you're going to destroy even the people around you. And this is what a lot of women need to be taught. And then accountability for our lessons.
And then,
accountability.
if I may
A lot
interrupt,
of women.
just for like that particular kind of man, just remember that just because she's educated doesn't necessarily mean that she's financially literate, doesn't mean that she's responsible, doesn't mean that she's empowered, doesn't mean that she's all that. Just because maybe, oh, she's beautiful, just because you saw a beautiful girl with everything that you see want in a woman, doesn't necessarily mean that. You get to know that person, and before risking your children's future like that, before blowing up your children's future. So yeah, go ahead, my dear.
Yes. So it all goes back to empowerment. That is what I was saying, right? So a disempowered woman will destroy everything. Like what that guy has just said, the comment that you just read. A lot of men, this is where they also fail. A lot of them, and especially men from your tribe, Luo men, they just want to marry because she's yellow. Yellow is just a color. There is a lot that comes into marriage. You understand? So if you're disempowered as a woman, it doesn't matter what is put in your hands. You're going to dismantle it. Like, for example, I said in 2022, I did a post last year, and I said in 2022, nobody is coming here to tell us that, oh, he's a deadbeat, he's a dog. A dog?
No, we don't.
You are married to the dog. You know, you are married to him. You also have to have power for your womb. Stop giving birth because society is telling you that you should have children. Stop giving birth because a man told you that he will love you more because when you have his children. Have children because Sasha wants to have children. Have children because Sasha knows she can be able to cater for those children. How many children are suffering in Africa because they were given birth by people who can't even afford themselves, leave alone bringing another human being into this life? A lot of women in Africa are disempowered, and we need to empower them by educating them about themselves.
Absolutely. I do love this topic. I do agree with you. A very powerful topic. I'm not seeing people asking any questions yet.
Somebody has said, then blame the whole gender for our choices. You're not gonna 2022. We are not blaming anyone for anything
for
we have done.
Choices,
We are
for our mistakes.
Yes, we are focusing on this finger that is on this side. That is focused on. We are focusing on myself, Sasha. I'm not gonna come here calling somebody's son that he is a dog while he was not a dog when he was with me. No. That one we are saying no.
And that dog gave you children.
The dog gave me children with my legs 360 degrees on the ceiling.
Absolutely, absolutely. This topic is hot. African mindset. It's so deep, and we don't always get it wrong. We are good people. We come from a point of love, but we just made some missteps somewhere. We got misinformed. We tried to copy things, and then my mom used to say that half education is worse than no education at all.
Exactly, exactly. And a lot of people from our generation have poisoned themselves with education, and that's why I call them people of small money and small power.
Because you're trying to
Yeah,
reason with somebody, but because they think they know so much, you can't tell them, but they just have half the information, and you're thinking, no, you just have the information. You have the information. You've understood empowerment, just half of the empowerment. You've not come to understand the whole empowerment and what it really means. Let's learn together. Let's keep learning what empowerment is, and everything changes. Things change a lot. Something that was
a lot.
yeah,
Preach.
it's something
Knowledge
that's
is power.
important. I imagine some things were important for our parents. That's why they were taught empowerment as in a different way, in a different concept of empowerment. That's how they were taught. But it doesn't mean you have to take that same thing that your parents were taught and use it today. It's different. It changes. So you have to keep relearning and unlearning those whole things. Uh,
Exactly.
do you mind reading that for me as I write some things that I wanted us to
Be wise.
think of?
Self-love is so important. For example, in our community in Kenya, the Kalenjin greetings is Shamge. I know I live with them.
Yes,
Shamge,
I'm
yeah,
getting
which which means love yourself. Oh, I didn't know what it means. I just know how to say Shamge, and then someone tells me that I say missing, and the other person says we remind each other. Oh, so when someone says missing, it means okay, all right, I'm learning. My daughter is 9. Thank you very much for that, by the way. My daughter is 9 years, and my mother is 86 years old in Kenya, and I focus on loving them just as they are and working with them respectfully. So, my brother K, Vin, please let the ladies have a conversation, my brother, and let's respect them as we also want to feel respected. Empowerment can you, is a two, and then there are some dots. I think it's not a complete sentence. Oh, thank you very much. That's a very, very powerful message. And thank you very much for defending us. Nicole, is he a she or a he who wrote that comment?
That must be Simba again, Arab Simba.
Simba, thank you. That you are a powerful man. I love men who defend women. Thank you
You
very,
can
very
follow
much.
his
Yeah,
post.
I love that.
He's always follow his post. He's always
Yeah,
has something for the women.
and I like the
Mm.
fact that he's mentioning his mom and his daughter. It shows that he has a passion for society and he has a passion to make it better for women. So God bless you for that.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's always advocating for his daughter. You'd see the way he encourages the daughter. You know that he is right. Yeah, he is pro us. Yeah. Okay, so I just want us, as we think about how to change our mindset and help those around us to have a think on some of those things. We have a comment here. I would love to understand how the human mind works. The mind amuses me so much. Trigger, I love the brain. That's something I
The
will do.
mind,
Like neuroscience,
yeah,
I love
the
neuroscience.
mind, the mind is a powerful tool,
And you
and
know
that's
what?
why yes,
The oppressors came for the mind.
the
The oppressors came for the mind. People come for
the
the mind.
oppressors. You see, Nicole, I like what you just said. The oppressors came for the mind, and you know what? We hate thinking in Africa very much. We are lazy in thinking, and that is why you have to the way you take your body to the spa is the
Yeah.
same way that you have to get some solitude time to program your mind, and always program your mind to be positive no matter how much the world throws negativity at you. That is why you find the successful people who have been through it all. It is because they forgiveness. They chose forgiveness, which is a positive. But if you take every small bad thing that happens to you and because I would say it's empowering, it's actually and you empower your mind with negativity. That is why you you find people who are vengeful. But people who have empowered themselves in a positive way, like what Nicole was speaking about the business, it is something that has also happened to me. But you know what? You let it go and you say, no,
No,
God
and then
had
you
not planned it
learn,
to be for me. I
you learn
move
it
on and I
wasn't their
try a
fault.
new thing.
Mm.
What?
Yeah, you learn to learn that it wasn't their fault. It wasn't their
Yes,
fault. All those people around me, it
it
wasn't their
wasn't.
fault. I allowed it.
And they were not a part of your destiny. That is why
They
it
were not part
couldn't
of my
work
destiny.
between you.
I
Yeah,
allowed it. I didn't train my mind to have better thoughts. So anything, if you don't
yes,
train your mind, it will use the things that are in your subconscious mind, or it will find the nearest thing. That's why you find people like religious people using things like an empty debe, is it is a devil's workshop or things like that. That's why people say
yes,
things like that. Because if you don't train your mind, it will find something. It will find something. Whatever is nearest, the mind is so lazy. It likes saving energy. So it
yes,
will find anything to fill it up because it
yeah.
thinks that it's helping you and saving you. I don't know whether people had more questions. I wanted us to close with these thoughts. I was saying, as an African woman, ask yourself these powerful questions, especially if you want to like change your life, do things with your life. If you believed in yourself, what difference would you make? So if you start believing that you can make a difference in the world or you can do better, what are some of the things you'll do if you totally believed in you and wanted change in your life? What are some of those things you'll do? So that's what. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
You're the one. Are you the one who
Yeah,
asked that, or it's some?
I
You're
know.
the one.
I was tapping those. I was tapping those as we were speaking. When I told you to
No,
read that, I was tapping that. It's me who's typed
I'm
it.
asking. Are you the one who asked that question? If you believe in yourself, what difference would you make?
Sorry. Let me start again. I'm saying, as an African woman, ask yourself powerful questions, and this is one of the questions I want you to ask yourself. Number one, if you believe in yourself, what difference would you make? What are some of the things you do? If you're in an abusive relationship, what would you do if you believe that you can survive? You've made mistakes. We all do. We all make them. You started a relationship that is not for you, that doesn't work for you. What difference can you make if you believe that you can make a difference? What are some of the things you do if you ask yourself
You know,
that?
yeah, yeah. As we ask
Oh,
that,
go ahead,
can I
yeah.
answer that? Can I
Mm.
answer that?
Yeah, go ahead,
A
girl.
lot of people, a lot of people tell me that I'm a very strong person, but they don't know that I
Mm,
came from a very broken place, and that is what made me strong. So,
mm,
and I remember my first relationship, I was so crushed, like my. That's why I cannot stay I cannot be very close to anyone who tries to bring me down. I
mm.
don't give them time
Yeah.
because I gave my first relationship 5 years
Mm,
of being dismantled, my self-esteem, until I could look in the mirror and see an ugly face. So
mm,
I don't blame these women who stay for too long, but
mm,
I love myself because for me it was emotional torture.
mm,
And the day it turned physical, it was very, very bad because I was beaten to an extent of being taken to hospital. But
mm,
like I said, I hate slavery. I hate to feel pain. And
mm,
the emotional torture, I didn't know until I got out of the relationship. But the day it became physical, that is
mm,
the day that I left. And I always ask myself, how can a woman wait for such a painful second beating? You
mm,
understand? Because
mm,
for me it was the first time and that was my wake up call. And now
mm,
when I look back then, and then now when I got out of it, I started to see that I was in a very toxic environment for too long. And that
mm,
is why I am strong, because when someone is talking to me, the first thing I do, I relate, and
mm,
immediately I pick the red flag. That is why
mm,
also it's very difficult for me to date, because I chose myself. And my second relationship, I will not lie, and that was my last boyfriend. And I
mhm,
it was good, it was beautiful. He empowered me in so many ways. We are good friends up until now. I will just pick up the phone and I'll say, you know what, Frankie, I'm broke. And he
mm,
will just sort me out. We just separated because of distance. He went back to America. I didn't want to go. I wanted to go then. My career started opening, but we are good friends. We broke up in a
mm.
mature way. And he found me very broken and he built me. And let me tell you, once you date a king, it is very difficult to go back to trash.
Yeah.
Very,
So,
very, very
yeah, if
difficult.
somebody set a
Because yeah,
standard for
he
you.
taught he taught me my worth. He would actually sometimes like tell me, oh, let's go and do this, and I will say yes, and then it'll be like, no, I can see you don't want to say yes. You know what I want you to learn? Never do anything because you want to please someone. And he changed my whole world, and may God bless him. I always tell him God to bless him wherever he is, you know. So once you get out of it, believe me, it's like the awakening about religion and everything. Once you get out of it, there is never turning back. You will never go back. So if you're a woman and you're in an abusive relationship, I want you today to call yourself for a meeting. Take a pen and a paper. Write what you'd like to be. I'm not going to tell you 5 years from now, 5 months from now.
In fact, that comes to my second question. Yeah,
yes,
going
yes.
because
And then count your achievements. Count your achievements since you got into this relationship. Are you evolving or are you dissolving? If you're dissolving, I'll tell you to run as fast as you can.
Yeah, I put that as one of the powerful questions you need to ask. The second one is, what do you want to achieve? Find those things that you want to achieve. They'll drive you into doing amazing things. And remember, number one is more about following your instinct. Your number one is more following your instinct. What difference can you make? And then follow your instinct, and then find out what your vision is. Just try and retrace something back or create a new one. Find help. Ask somebody for help. It's okay to ask for help. The right people, they'll guide you and help you. And that's why we have such platforms. This platform is for people like us, to help and bring each other up. As a society, when one of us grows, all of us grow. So how can you let go of your limiting beliefs and bring in societal expectations? What are some of the things that you can just let go of those things? They tell you that, oh, you won't make it as a single mom with 3 children. Well, that's just a limiting belief. A lot of people are doing it. Find somebody who inspires you. We're just choosing this an example, but it's different. It's lots of different topics and a lot of different things. There's some people who are even in abusive relationship with their own parents. So how do you come out of those abusive relationship with their own parents? How do you navigate that? So and then the last question you can ask yourself is, how can you make peace with what is right now? Make peace with the past, make peace with the future, concentrate on now, because you're not going to enjoy now or live in a now if you're always worried about the future and if you're always thinking about the past. You have to learn and bring yourself to the moment to come, to have some like meditation exercises, breathing exercises, prayers, anything to just bring you back to the right moment, to this moment right now. And if you don't have anything to thank God for, just thank God for that you're alive and you can make, you have another chance. You're better than a dead person. You have a second chance. You're still alive. You're still breathing. You don't need any breathing aids. You don't need anything. You're not in a hospital, dear. You're here watching this. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Okay, you might be slightly ill or something, but damn it, you're better than a million people, thousands of people in the world. You're much, much better. So you're not dead yet. Maybe you're in this abusive relationship where you're being beaten and stuff. You didn't die. You've got a second chance there. A lot of us have died. In the last 2-3 years, you've seen it all over Facebook. And if you've not seen it, it's sad. And then so yeah, that is it for me. Somebody just said missed. I will later. Okay, don't worry. I think you meant you've missed, but you'll watch it later. Do watch it later and leave your comments for us. Once you're aware of yourself and that you deserve more God, you'll never look back. Stop thinking. Overthinking creates fear. Yeah. And then I think the fear thing came up in our conversation. Maybe lost that, but we just didn't use the word fear. But most of this brainwash mindsets that are passed down to us, most of these things come from the point of fear, and fear is are planted in our thoughts. There are all sorts of fear that are planted in our thoughts, including that you can't make it as a single person, you can't be educated at 40s, or you're too old for that. So you start fearing that, oh my God, I can't do it, I can't make it, it's too late for me. Fear of old age, fear of I don't know what, fear of even death. Death is part of life. That is part of life. We hate it, we don't like it, we miss our loved ones, but it is part of life. It is sad too, but it's part of life. Every single one of us is headed that way. It would have been unfair if the rich people escaped it. Then we'll be like, okay, but nobody's escaping it. So why do we fear death? Not that I want to die either, because that fear of death was really, really ingrained. It's really deep inside of us. So yeah, and then you have Nicola. I want to suggest you bring also couples, married couples, are not always singles, who most of the time push on the side of how strong they are when single, and never try to encourage the things that marriages work. No, 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 no. I'll never ever say that marriages don't work. Ever, ever, ever. And I usually ask people to come in and speak, but nobody volunteers. People don't volunteer.
Let
If
me
you
tell
want
you,
somebody to suggest,
Nicole, for you can do that. For me, I'm always gonna be myself. I'm not gonna sell something that I'm not inside. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to say that they might think that we are being biased or something. No, it's just
Yeah,
by default. It's just happened. I try to reach out to people. Most people are busy, and then like Wednesdays, you don't know what's happening to people. I also have my personal life that I have to keep running. So it's nothing to do with being biased. I would like different inputs, and even if you're not there as a guest or a panel, the comments is free for anybody. Anybody can comment their own journey. Anybody can comment something and give us a different view. The male, the female. This is nothing to do with single people being favored and that. No, the single people that you tend to see and meet and you see there are just empowered single people. We have a lot of single people who are not empowered. A lot of single people who can't speak their voices. A lot of single people who are embarrassed. A lot of single people who will never share their journey and tell about their journey. We have, and
lots
we
of
have
them.
yeah, a lot of them, and we have a lot of married people who are empowered, and a lot of married people who are not empowered. So there's
And
nothing
I
to do.
listen. Me, let me tell you one thing. I have a lot of friends who are in very beautiful marriages, and I admire them, and I'm very happy for them. And guess what? I never met the women first. I met the men, and they were like, Sasha, you're so powerful. I'd like you to meet my wife. And we've done business together.
Yeah, yeah,
So they're,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I get married men are every time contacting me, and nothing sexual. I promise you, nothing sexual every time. And if you want proof, I'll send you proof. The person who suggested this topic was a male. The person who told me to speak
Wow.
about this was a male. I never just mentioned, I never share like screenshots. That's not my style, maybe yet. But most of the time, I just come up with topics and I share some, but I never really say who suggested it. A male suggested this topic 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So that's how deep this is. So you can't judge a book by its cover. You can just go, oh, Nicole wants this guy because I'll shoot. No, it's really hard to judge a book by its cover. Hi, you girl. I choose myself over toxic man who constantly use religion to try and controlling me. Watch out, religion is another tool used by
Yes.
narcissists to try and manipulate you and make you feel like you're the bad one. I was told to report every time I left the house, even to Mama Mboga's place. Mm, you lol
Those ones
girl.
are the most toxic.
That's toxic, dear. But the reality is just he wanted to keep tabs on me because he was overly possessive. Religion is seriously being misused to bring down women, yet themselves don't follow what they try to force down to me. Yeah, absolutely. This is
And
true.
they're
This
the
is
when let me tell you, people who behave like that are very promiscuous. I'm telling you,
they're doing exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to do.
they don't want you to do. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
glad that you ran away.
yeah, I've been in one, and this guy was like that kind of people where everybody, all of your friends and family will be like, wow, he's so nice. And they just look at how he treats you, how he treats the kids, how he speaks to everybody. But
Narcissists are like that.
then,
Narcissists are very good pleasing the street out here. That was my first relationship. Even
that's
when
how
I
to
got
do
out, people
it.
thought I was the bad person. But when you're
Mm,
with them behind closed doors, it doesn't matter whether it is business, whether it is marriage, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship. They are very good out here in the society. But wait,
yeah.
when you're with them behind
Sometimes
closed
wanted
doors,
me
you
to
will
do
not
things that
believe.
I wasn't comfortable with. And if I said no, oh, you don't like me anymore. You used to like me. You used to do everything for me. I'm like,
They control.
somebody's told you chill a little. Who is this who's come after you?
I
Kai,
let me tell you one thing, Nicole.
Eh.
What anybody thinks about me is none of my business, none whatsoever. So if you think I am bitter, that is who you really are, and that's none of my business.
Yeah. Okay. I don't worry about it. When you put one that when but I like having different kind of people in my life when there's kidogo and everything because it just makes
Yeah,
you
no,
feel.
no, no. I understand, but I also make myself clear. Like I said, I'm loud and proud, yes,
So just
of who
because
I am.
it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean you shouldn't encourage it. Nobody's saying discouraging
Nobody
anything.
is here to encourage anyone. This is a discussion. You can listen. If it's bothering you, you can go. We have the right audience.
Yeah, I think maybe you missed some of the things we're talking about. But if there's anything you want to us to add, you'd like us to clarify, I'm really happy to clarify for you. Me, I'm single, but I support of marriage. Marriage do work. It absolutely work. I have friends who admire and are married. Given a chance, I'll rush so long as this man respects himself and everyone around him. For me, right now, I've chosen to be single. It's not to brag, but seriously, if I wanted to be with anybody, I would be. Seriously. If I wanted to be with anything, I'll be with anything. Yeah, but right now in my life, I don't have space, and it's unfair for the other person. I am too busy even for myself. Even in class today, I was talking to my classmate. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm busy, but what am I doing?" Because every single day I have something scheduled. I have something I'm doing. Yeah, like now I'm from college the whole day. I'm here doing my life. That is my life right now. Finish this, go and cook. So I don't have room, and it's not in a bad way, not in a bad taste. I've had wonderful relationships. Apart from that kind of abusive relationship, I've had people who have treated me so well. I've never been hit by a man. That one I can swear to God. Never been hit by a man. I've always had men who cook for me. The person I'm talking about, for a whole 2 years, I never entered the kitchen. My own kitchen. He will even do the dishes. He just wanted mimi nikule na ninone. That's all he
I
wants.
believe, Nicole, people don't believe that there are good men out there. There are
They're
good
good.
men out there. People
Mimi
just don't
mwenye
know where to search.
alijua. My baby daddy, I can't fault him at all. Baby, maybe I've been blessed with wonderful people, but I know my standard and I know what I'm after. But right now, I've worked on myself. I know what I want. I know how I want it. But right now in my life, I don't have space for anything. I don't have space for anything. And recently, I met a very, very close to perfect person. Close to perfect person. But that's a story for another day. So, maybe marriage, yes, I'm pro marriage. But again, I don't want to say I'm totally pro marriage in a way. For me, I've always viewed marriage as just paper. I've been married before. It was wonderful. Baby daddy, amazing, amazing dad. He's better than me in parenting. Amazing dad. Amazing dad. Last evening, I'm telling you, I'm always busy. Last evening, Monday evening, Tuesday evening, we had parents meeting online. He was on both meetings participating when it comes to his child. No problem with that. But right now, marriage, I did it before, but I think it's more like a paper. I would like to be in a happy, peaceful, respectful relationship. That I'll do. If it leads to walking down the aisle, maybe yeah, but it's not end goal for me. So long as it's respectful and it has everything I want, no problem at all. I don't even know why I have to explain that to you. Damn right. Me, I'm single, but I support of marriage. Marriage do work. Absolutely, marriage do
Let
work.
me tell Nicole, let me tell
Mhm.
you. If people stopped doing marriage for other people, for the society, I think all marriages would work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most,
Some people
yes,
rush it
most,
because of people.
yeah.
Some people rush it because it's an
And you
expectation.
and you and you also, I want my man to go and buy me presents because I saw Nicole's husband buying her presents. People
Mhm.
don't do it for them, and that's why it fails.
Yeah. Today I actually had two stories I wanted to share. And now that we are going off topics and stuff, one of the stories that I wanted to share is that in our society, it's we find that it's a little bit off now from where we are flowing to. If a friend of yours, a male friend of yours, buys property, the first thing is like, wow, congratulations, yada, 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 yada. If a female friend, best friend, buys property,
Where did she
that's
get the money?
oh, na bwana ukiolewa or nini, or some hints of maybe jealousy or discouragement and everything. They don't get the same support as your male counterparts. That's one of the stories I wanted to share because it's
I'm
happened.
telling you, Nicole, the first question is, where did she get that money from?
Ati sijui wanaume. I've had people come into my house and say, oh, lazima kuwe na mwanaume kwa hii nyumba.
I
Okay,
know,
I
I
don't have to
know.
explain that to you. And then the other story I wanted to share when we're talking about how people are sleeping around is a real story. Believe it or not, it's a real story. It happened. I saw it with my own eyes, where a girl, very beautiful, intelligent girl, really stunning, like 3, 4 times prettier than me. I'm a 5'10", I don't know. Very stunning girl in all standards and levels, really intelligent. They were having an argument with a person they were sleeping with in the car. This person is married. She's married. I don't know about this person. I don't know. Not married, but she's married. And they're having an argument in the car. The dude is like, "Get out of my car!" And the girl is like, "Ah, no, get out of my car." Ow. Oh, I was like, I asked, would you like taxi money? Is it that you don't have transport home? I can give you that. This happened in Kenya. You don't have money? I'm happy to pay for you. I'm happy to do that. And the person I was with was like, yeah, we can take you home and stuff. And I like, oh, trying to defend herself to stay in the car. And she stayed.
I have pride, walai.
Get out of my car. How would you even do that? People open doors for me. I get doors open for me right now. Unataka kuniambia get out of your car? Anyway, those are some of the two stories that I just wanted to share. For in my shop, even recruited friends to hate me when he couldn't control me anymore. Sashana Mota, you know the issue very well, girl. My heart goes to you. At least you can share
Oh,
your story.
girl, I love you. I love you, girl. I know the story, and we here. And what did we do? We showed him, no, we cannot hate her because of your foolishness.
Where Ntambua, I'm one-sided. Where, hey, I'm not being one-sided. The guest emotions were their main. This act is difficult already to be proud. Be humble and stop assuming just because we don't agree on that I hate you. Ah, yes, sawa. Okay, I think the
I
point
don't
is
focus on that. Like I said, I only focus on what is positive. So bye. Bye.
Okay, and then we have no one knows what's behind the closed doors. Nobody knows your story. Nobody knows you. We should always remember that. Nobody knows the whole story. Nobody knows you. You don't have to explain to people. You don't have to defend yourself. Just have like 3 strong friends around you. You don't have all those. You
Yeah.
don't need all those friends on Facebook. You don't need them all. You just need 3 people
And you
you
don't,
know.
and let me tell her, let me tell Maria, and you don't need the ones that you're going to share with, and then they are going to make it worse.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just need that people who are going to be there for you, who are going to understand the situation, who are going to support you during that time because you're also very vulnerable, you know? That's
Yeah.
what you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one also happened to my friend recently, and it's still ongoing. She's now free to do everything she ever wanted, and now people are thinking, and it's not her fault. You know, I don't even want to share a story because some people might connect the dots about who this person is, but it wasn't anything to do with abuse, anything like that. Nothing, nothing. It's the kind of relationship I have, like perfect, everything is well and stuff. But anyway, now people are concluding that, oh, alipata pesa, that's why she's doing this, that's why she's doing this. But oh, please, please. That people not believing that you can do it as a single lady. It's true just by upload. Guys are like, alitoa pesa wapi? Inaitwa kujipanga. If you know you are the only one for you, my friend, you work smart. Yeah, cool. Dorothy, whenever it works, I left a toxic one and I married a wonderful one. You see, now we actually have a married woman telling us the story, so it's not one-sided. Okay, guys, wishing God blesses me with an understanding spouse one day. They are there, but you
Yes,
know
they
what?
are there. Jibril, my friend, they are there, lots of them. And by the way, for me, I know a lot of very good guys that would actually want to date me, but for now, it's not on my priority list. But I know the day I decide that I want to go back to the dating scene or I want to get married, there are good men out there. People should never mistake that. We should
Yeah,
not also stereotype when it comes to men. There are good men and there are bad men. There are good people and there are bad people.
bad people. That we good women and bad women. Work on yourself first.
Yes,
Our group is about
exactly.
empowering. each other. Success Your Way movement is about understanding yourself and knowing your expectation and knowing what you deserve. But don't go there looking for somebody's child, mtoto wa watu, mtoto wa Abraham, sijui na Meshach na Abednego. Uchukua mtoto wa watu, a very nice guy, and then you start
Jezebel.
yeah, releasing your demons come at Jezebel up. But no, don't go doing that. Work on yourself. If you know you're not ready, it's okay. Just keep on working on yourself. And then you'll attract that right
Yeah.
man to yourself and you'll be able to have a nice relationship. Because even if you have a nice dude and you've not worked on yourself, when they're gonna damage, atachoka, ama utamturn into that demon and he'll start hitting you and beating you up. Mtoto wake mwenye hata hakuwa na makasiriko na mtu. So yeah, do keep on working on yourself before you try the next relationship. Otherwise, I think we've really spoken. I'm so glad about this. I hope we help each other. But you are free to decide for yourself. African woman mindset and things we can how to overcome it. It's a broad topic. It's wide. It can go on and on because we can't really narrow it, and because you didn't really ask questions on how you want us to take this topic, so we just went with what we had or our understanding of it as of now. But if you have any more questions, we can always revisit it and focus on that particular area. Sash, have you got anything else to say?
Yeah, I just want to say those people who just come on social media, pick something from someone and they decide to brand them, calling someone bitter. That shows that you have not worked on yourself, because once you have worked on yourself, even if you're correcting someone, you will never look for words to belittle them. You will never look for words to belittle them. That is one thing. The other thing I just want to remind everyone, not only women, because we had some men participating on the show, if you don't love yourself, even if somebody loves you how much, it won't work. It all begins within ourselves. Another thing is that a lot of people from our generation have not found ways to heal themselves. You need to find ways to heal your traumas. You understand? You need to heal your traumas. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she was complaining to me. And then I was like, I think, girl, you have hopped into 7 relationships since I have known you. So I think at this point in my life, I told her, I think at this point in your life, I don't think also, because I don't know about the guys that you have dated stories, but for the last 1 year that I have known you, it's been boyfriend after boyfriend. So you're just doing rebounds. You've not even taken time aside to learn yourself, to know where you're also making a mistake. Because like for myself, I know the business, I have failed in business, but I called myself for a meeting and I know where the problem is now.
Yeah, you're
You understand?
self-aware. It's
Like,
not
yes,
self-aware.
I'm self-aware that my biggest weakness, first of all, is trust. And this is the same thing I told my friend. From what you're explaining to me, you trust people easily, and instead of going to the next relationship, like this time I told myself, I am not gonna go into the next business. I am gonna look at Sasha. What are the mistakes that Sasha has been making in the past? Why hasn't she reached her peak? And the way she works so hard, So it's the same thing. Like if you're in a relationship, you need to, once you break up with someone, you need to heal yourself first, because if you carry that trauma, you're going to take it to the next person. Like I have said, my first relationship was very, very toxic, So I didn't know that I actually carried that to my next relationship. And I
Yeah,
remember my ex-boyfriend,
trust
he would
them.
he would buy me very expensive gifts, and then he will bring them, and because of the way I was broken, I don't even notice. And then he'd be like, oh, I was expecting like you'll be excited. And that's when I'll realize, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so people can treat you good, So we need to heal ourselves before we move on to the next thing,
Yeah,
whether it's the next business, whether it's the next relationship. We need to heal ourselves. And the reason a lot of marriages don't work, especially in Africa, because there's a lot of trauma also coming from our parents, the neighborhoods we grew up with, So when you combine all these things in your mind and you've not found yourself, you carry them to the next person. And this is
yeah,
why we are having divorce rates every day, every day. I would also like to encourage people to do therapy. Towards last year, my mind was in a very, very bad place. Nicole, we spoke about it, you remember? And I did therapy, and Nicole can tell you that I'm a different person from the person she was talking to
yeah,
in
yeah.
December,
It's always
So
a
yeah,
journey.
Yeah, it's also good for you to do if you're in a marriage, if you're in a relationship, if you just broke up, if you're in a dark place, just do therapy and it's going to help you. I think that's my parting shot. And for the ones who thought that I am bitter, I am very, very sorry.
Yeah, Sashona is a really nice person deep inside her, but again, you have to consider a lot of things first. She's a person who has had online, let me use abuse. She's been trolled before, and it was really bad. People really hurt her, and she came from that. She survived that. So when she sees sometimes when somebody is trying to make a comment that doesn't maybe come like it's coming from a good place, she will go to self-defense first. It's a natural human instinct where you either fight or flight. It's fight or flight, so it's a natural human instinct where she's thinking, okay, another attack or something. So I do understand sometimes when she goes all defensive, and I do understand her aggression as well. Some people might not understand it. I'm patient with it because I understand it. She on a daily basis, she's trying to teach people to come out of this kind of mentality, kind of abuse, and sometimes I think she's just thinking, oh, I'm tired of giving love where people are not receiving it. I'm tired. All she wants is people to change their mindset. She's always fighting people. She's always going on Facebook jail for saying the wrong things online because she just speaks her mind. I always told her if she turned it down a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm not gonna tell you.
She's the next one, Garema die. If she turned it down last a little bit, because you when the jail killers thank you guys for joining us today. I think we've spoken, and I'm really grateful. We had another comment. Great. I totally respect your views, but when we wind up, remember you will always meet different people with different thoughts and suggestions from you. Nobody is belittling you, emotions aside, and most important, I repeat, if it didn't work for you, it doesn't mean you shouldn't encourage you to talk positive about it. I'm sorry if it came across as if she's trying to be against it. Nobody's against it. Guys, thank you so much. Remember what our platform is about. Our platform is about love. We want to make differences, small differences, small changes from our corners of the world. And love is the greatest gift of all. It all starts from love. Fighting isn't taking us anywhere. We can disagree. You can disagree, but still be agreeable. You can not. I don't always agree with Sashona, and she doesn't always agree with me. But we can always find a mutual ground and stuff in learning and teaching each other.
Tell them we fight. We fight, but we find out.
Yeah, we do.
Not like in a way. We don't reach to the point where like now I have to start belittling you with words. No.
And next time, if you want to come and be a guest, and so that we hear your view, just tell me. I drop the link on them, then you join and you tell us, because it's easier maybe to tell us than comment. Then you just tell us where you're coming from and what you mean. We don't mean to fight each other. There's enough fights in the world. There's enough competition. There's enough jealousy. We don't need more. We really don't need more. We just need to just learn and develop and grow together. Otherwise, asanteni sana. I've spoken and spoken and spoken. Don't forget, I'm on YouTube. You guys have been on YouTube for a year and I'm still on 300 subscribers. Seriously. Aibuganis, that is so bad. That is so bad. You guys, you need to support me on YouTube. Go on and support me on YouTube. What have I done wrong that you're not supporting me on YouTube? Poleni. Otherwise, asanteni. You're gonna say bye to Kienda. Bye, Sashona.
Bye, girl.
Bye. Asanteni sana for being here.
Complex music.